right, everybody. Here we are. You get 2 videos in one because I just recently published a video and now I have another exhibition match between these 2 great players here. I've got Brian here to my right and Carly here to my left. They hover around the 400 Fargo rate limit. I think there's about a 30-point difference between the 2, which I think is close enough for them to actually want to square off with one another. I believe we're going to be playing 10 ball. And the rules that they're going to be playing by are race to 5, best of 3 sets, very similar to how all the other matches have gone. It's going to be rack your own. The 2 and the 3 must be racked in the corners. The other balls can be racked, 1 in the front, 10 in the center, other balls racked randomly. There is no break box in 10 ball that I'm aware of. There is going to be no jumping. They are going to use the 3 foul rule, and the 10 ball is not allowed to be made early. So in the event that it is made early, it will get spotted. And this is a call ball, call pocket format, meaning that if they call the ball and it does not go, but something else does drop, even if it's the 10 ball would spot, but the player's turn would end. And the incoming player would have the option to either shoot where the cue ball lays or even give it back to the opponent. So there's going to be no luck shots in here unless you happen to miss the called pocket and the cue ball, or the ball goes 2 or 3 rails and magically finds its way back to the pocket, which has happened before. Did I miss anything?
Alternate break, right?
Yes, and it is alternating break format. In the past, I've had winner break formats in the 9 ball format. So, any questions?
Yep.
Good luck to y'all.
Thank you. Good luck.
Good luck.
Even on a lag, watch out.
All right, everybody. Let me know if you can hear me okay from the commentary booth. Starting off with the lag here, and it looks like Brian is going to win the lag.
Yeah, just a little bit.
So this is going to be a little different from what I've had from the previous exhibitions. I've mentioned before about how I want to have skill levels of all types to be able to come in and be able to play on my stream. So that way players can actually get to see what type of skill levels are actually out there. So we have to give our hats off to these 2 players to be able to want and come and actually play on a live stream. What's going on, Lonnie? Thanks for being here, man. And Lisa, if you happen to be there. We are underway. How do the table sounds sound, like the balls banging and the cue ball and stuff? I actually had a little bit of audio issues right before the stream started, and I tried to fix them as best as I could.
Remember to breathe.
Yeah. I gotta keep like holding my breath. I'm like, no, let's not do that.
Yeah.
All right, Ryan here off to a decent start here, making the 3 ball on the break and has a shot at the 1 ball. More than likely going to be going to the bottom left corner pocket. It looks like he's looking at the bottom right corner pocket. Nope, he's changed his mind. Let's see what type of position he's going to try to have for the 2 if he is successful. Just a bit of an overcut and actually lands quite safely.
It's a good day when you just hit the point. Yeah.
All right, so Carly over here looking at trying to do a 1 rail kick. She is calling the corner pocket just in case it happens to fall. Because if you don't call it and it falls, then that's not considered a made shot. And then Brian would have the option. Good try there. Kicked just a little too wide. So now Brian needs to decide whether or not if he wants to try to get position to play the 2 here into the corner, or perhaps play a 2-8 combination. All depending upon how he's going to set up his cue ball here.
Yeah.
Oops. And with that, that looked like it might have been a setup for a 2-8 combination. I was already warning Brian as he was practicing before the stream started. These pockets are not forgiving. You have to hit them accurately. Now, he got a little fortunate because, as you can see, Carly can barely even reach the cue ball. So it looks like she's going to grab the bridge. And because of the difficulties of these pockets, trying to spin that one ball into the corner isn't as easy as it sounds. Doug, thanks for the update there. As far as the players' voices sound out there, it's going to sound echoey. I have yet to put in more microphones in that room to try to reduce the echo. What basically happens is that you have 2 microphones, 2 condenser microphones that are hanging above the table. They're responsible for capturing all the table sounds. So whenever the cue ball gets hit, whenever the cue ball contacts another object ball, when rails are hit, etc. Underneath this camera that you're looking at right now is a shotgun microphone that just points straight out into the room. That microphone is meant to capture all of the vocals. And hopefully what you should have heard at the very beginning when I was introducing the players and introducing the match, it sounded a whole lot clearer. But when you're at the other end of the room, that's when you're going to get a little bit of an echo. So Brian's successful at making the 1 ball into the corner pocket. The 8 ball falling happens to just be a bonus ball. I don't know whether if he's going to go for the side of the corner. It looks like he does try to go for the corner there. Little bit of an undercut. Oh, and see, there you go. Such a good try there, but you see how the 2 ball caught the rail right before the pocket? Man, I got to tell you, like I'm so used to doing that and seeing the ball drop, but it just does not happen on my table. And if it does, it's like 1 out of every 25 shots, you might be able to get away with it. So that was such a good effort by Carly. 2 ball is deep into the pocket here. Let's see how Brian's going to get the cue ball out. Not really successful at doing so. He looks like he can at least see the 4 ball. Maybe it has a chance to go into the side pocket.
Try and make it.
Nice shot there. For regular guys, how's it going? I believe you're asking about when Brian shot the 2 ball, would I have gone to the side pocket? I think actually I would favor the corner pocket as well because of the positioning of the cue ball being able to come back towards the middle of the table and then probably land on the 4 ball. Whereas cutting it to the side would require the cue ball to go down to the foot rail and I have to control it to come back up to get position. So here in this instance, if Brian elects to play the 6-10 combination, he has to call the 10 ball. If he makes the 10 ball, the 10 ball will come back up and he will continue to shoot because it was his called ball. Had he not made the 10 ball, being the called ball and something else would have dropped. His turn would end. Carly would get to come to the table and decide whether or not if she wants to shoot or pass it back to Brian. Okay, looks like Carly's still getting the first game jitters out of her system. Brian faced with a rather difficult shot here, primarily because it won't be easy to hold the cue ball anywhere in this vicinity here. So that way he can still have a shot at the 7 ball. The cue ball is going to go to the side rail, come back out. All right, this is a great shot, but now look at the difficult shot that he has here on the 7 ball. Hey, Shauna, thank you so much. Thanks for being here. Folks, if you haven't done so already, please give the stream a thumbs up, whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube. I would really appreciate it, and so would the players. Brian there with a really good shot on the 7 ball. Here's the situation, though. It's like you're playing one difficult shot after another, and typically when you're faced with a difficult shot, you definitely want to try to transition your cue ball to a less difficult shot, because when you're starting to play one hero shot after another, you're almost bound to miss. But right now, Brian's looking really good. Might be able to take the first rack here. A little bit of a stretch. And Brian takes the first rack down. So this is alternating break format. So it's going to be Carly's break.
I can already tell they're just following me around everywhere.
Told her when it was starting. She told her to share the link.
You know, it can be fun to make hero shots from time to time, but it's not really fun when the hero shot actually causes you to lose the rack. Both Brian and Carly have actually been on my YouTube channel before.
Yes.
If you look way back in my archives, you can actually find an interview that I did with Brian, and that's when I was doing a format of just interviewing local players, just asking generic questions of how they got into pool and, you know, what's their admiration of playing pool and how good they want to get, you know, et cetera, et cetera. And I did that for a little bit, and then I stopped, and I have been wondering if I should attempt to bring that format back again. Carly was on stream with me, I think it was a year or two ago, with my coach Demetrius. I believe it was around the Christmas time frame, and I was doing a collab live stream so that way Demetrius can plug his boot camp and show some of his training methods, and he actually did a quick training session with Carly. So Carly's break here was actually decent in that she at least made a ball, but it doesn't look like she has a decent shot at the 1 ball. She might be able to clip it. If she wanted to be aggressive, she might be able to cross, whoops, I got to use the right tool. She might be able to cross bank the 1 ball over to the side pocket, which it looks like that's what she called. I'd be more inclined to just go ahead and hit the 1 ball and just send the cue ball up table like this. Primarily, you can see to try to get right in the middle of all of this, and it looks like it wored. It looks like it worked. It looks like the 6 ball might be blocking the path to the 1 ball.
I haven't had enough practice with a jump cue. I've only used a jump cue three or four times, and I've only probably each of those times probably tried 10. I probably got 3 out of those 3 or 4 times. So
you're gonna get plenty of dogs in this here with Carly being at the table. Normally the dogs would be off to the side somewhere, either hiding or sleeping.
I'm gonna try.
Okay, I saw Brian call the one ball in the top right corner pocket. This is most likely going to be a one rail kick shot.
You like them?
Looks like he might be trying to do this,
I think it's
just to be able to see if we can get the one ball there. If successful, that might not be that bad with the three ball being right next to the one ball.
Smaller ball than another brand.
Unless I get a second skin, then I don't.
Good hit.
I make contact.
And Carly might be left with a 1-5 combination.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call the 5 in that corner pocket. Yeah, that's true. Remember, it's always a fiasco with the purple.
Yeah.
Okay, good try on the combination. This is unfortunately going to leave a shot for Brian. You can see he's trying to path it out. I'm more inclined to think that this is probably going to take some sort of effort like this. A little bit of a stun cue ball here to get close to this pocket. Spin all the way back out to here and then come all the way back out over here. And it looks like that's what he tried. He just didn't hit it hard enough. Okay, Brian electing to play a safety, and it looks like he might have gotten it. The 9 ball is blocking the path to the 3 ball. Hey Hector, how's it going? I actually did a live demonstration of the JFlowers SMO shaft. It's on an old live stream. I can't remember what the name of the title is, but I basically just did a comparison between the SMO shaft and the Predator Revo shaft. The SMO shaft being 12.5 and the Revo shaft that I tested against was a 12.4, and both of them had a Taom Fusion tip. And all I did was shoot a straight in shot with one tip of side spin to be able to test out their deflection. Because as long as I didn't make an adjustment in my aim, you would think that if the deflection was enough, you'd end up missing the shot. Well, with both shafts, I was able to make the shot and actually get the cue ball to behave relatively the same thing, which would at least prove that the SMO performs just as well, if not better, than the Predator Revo. But without a doubt, the SMO shaft is at least $100 cheaper. So Carly makes a good kick on the 3 ball here, and it looks like she might have gotten a little bit of a safety. Ryan with another good kick. Gets away with it. Carly's not going to have much of an aggressive shot here. She's going to have to try to come up with a safety. Ooh, get around the 8 ball. What a shot. Nicely done there.
Level showing some good high level play.
It's in the
Exactly. Oh, okay, go to the middle.
Brian looking at possibly a 2-rail kick here, going to the short rail first. Good hit. Where's the cue ball going, though?
I was like, wait.
So like I said, you got to give these hats off to these players here. Like I said, we're going to be seeing more mistakes than usual, which is to be expected, though. But for players to be able to come on a live stream in front of the world, basically, and try to show what they're capable of doing, I think that takes a lot of courage. That takes a lot of courage, and therefore,
Yeah.
they get my appraisal for
I'll
that.
say they'll like come up on my back or something. With Chris, they'll like lay right in front of him.
Yeah. All right, side pocket.
I don't think we said all ball foul on this one here. If Brian were to happen to make contact with the 10 ball or the 6 ball, bridging over that, he was successful at making the 3 ball. So Carly's going to have ball in hand. Hopefully now she can get something going. 4 and the 5 are actually nicely set up. 6 ball, that one's going to be a little tricky. At this point, I'd be inclined to say, put your cue ball like somewhere right around here. Look at that. There you go. Make the 4 ball. Get your cue ball to come down just a little bit so that way you can make the 5 ball here into the corner pocket and then potentially try to play some sort of safety with the 6. As you go up in the skill level ladder with your ball in hand on the 4 ball, you'd more than likely try to play at an angle to where you can send the cue ball into the 6-10 just to try to separate them. That way you can shoot the 5 and then be able to play the play position for the 6 to go into a pocket. Okay, nicely done here. Yeah, so if Carly could, I would probably see about sending the 6, banking the 6 ball off of the side rail and getting it to come underneath the 8 and hopefully trying to hold the cue ball right by the 10 ball. I think that's what she was trying. I do believe that's what she was trying. Hey, Dylan, thank you so much for the compliment.
Sorry,
That's exactly what this format is for. Players of similar skill levels that want to play against one another on a live stream allow me to commentate. And sometimes I'll have guest commentators. I was actually supposed to have one here with me today, but unfortunately she was not able to make it. But with my commentary that I can try to provide, hopefully I can either try to predict what I think the players might be trying to do, offer some suggestions on improvements if I don't happen to agree with what they're trying to do. So that way, hopefully, if they come back and watch this later, they can learn from it. And then, of course, it becomes beneficial to the viewers as well.
Oh, wow.
I think we both need to buy a water ticket.
So I guess she can't see the 6 ball at all. So it looks like she's trying to measure up to do a 1-rail kick. She's actually using the system that I learned from Tony Robles. I have a video on that measuring system. Oh, but she did kick just a little too wide. And that goes to show you that even if you attempt to follow a system, you still have to execute correctly. Meaning that even if you measured the correct spot that you need to kick to, you need to make sure that you actually hit the cue ball correctly, because that system is designed for a no side spin type of shot. And so either she might have mismeasured and kicked a little too wide. Maybe she might have put a little bit of right spin unintentionally, and that's what caused her cue ball to kick wide. We're not exactly sure since we can't see close enough as to how they're actually striking the cue ball. Oh, Trevor. And I hope you start feeling better, man.
Too much.
Thanks for being here, though, and happy to see that we can help you
man.
pass the time for today.
That'd be an 8-ball.
Oh, and with that miskicked, Carly is going to have ball in hand. Let's see what she can do with this 4-ball pattern. There's a couple of ways I think you can do this here.
There's one day that
Start with the 4 on the side. Somewhere right around here. It looks like Carly's going to go into the corner. That's fine as well, because you either can stop your cue ball or play your cue ball anywhere right around here. That way, you can play the 8-ball here into the corner and get your cue ball to do something like this, to where either you can try to play position for the 9 in the corner or come all the way up to play the 9 into the side, one or the other. And then from there, you can hopefully see how you can play the 10-ball into the bottom left corner pocket. Now, unfortunately, Carly got a little flat on this 8-ball, so she can make it. But when you're, fairly straight on the object ball, you're hitting it thick. And in order to move the cue ball, you have to hit it a little bit harder. See how her cue ball just barely even moves? Because so much of the object ball takes off so much momentum from the cue ball, which doesn't permit it to move unless you put more force behind it. So that's why you want a little bit more of an angle, causing a thinner hit on the object ball, and less momentum will get taken off the cue ball, allowing it to travel a little bit farther. Now, it sounds like she called the upper left corner pocket. I really hope she does not scratch in the side pocket here. She's putting bottom spin on the ball to try to avoid the scratch. Oh, at least avoids the scratch, but she avoids the scratch with an undercut. What ends up happening is, had she had made the ball, then she'd more than likely be scratching. All right, and Extremist, you can say goodbye. Don't need to see comments like that when I have beginning pool players that are brave enough to come on a stream and attempt to duke it out with one another. Jack, I don't ever set these matches up. The way this works is that the players set the match up. So you need to find an opponent, agree on what game that you would want to play, and then agree on the rules that you'd want to play by, and then just contact me with a particular date. I do try to limit these exhibition matches to once a month. Maybe I might do 2 occasionally. But I generally don't want these types of matches to just overwhelm the channel and just kind of do them sparingly. And so when you contact me with a date, I can see if I'm available on that day. And if I am, then we can continue to set it up. Otherwise, we end up pushing to a later date to where everybody can be available.
Oh, wow. Well, exactly what I wanted for Timbo. Yeah.
All right, Carly here with a great opportunity to be able to get on the board here. Hopefully she's able to recognize that if she were to cut this 9-ball into the side pocket, she wants to get her cue ball to do this, because that's what it almost wants to do naturally. She's probably going to need a touch of right spin in order to make that happen. And that way we can try to get the 10-ball to go here into the bottom left corner pocket. Now, if she doesn't hit this with enough top spin and hits this a little too hard, she might actually find the top left corner pocket. Here we go. Cue ball's coming around. A little bit harder to get off the rail. Probably wanted a couple of more inches out of the cue ball so that way she could have full access to the cue ball. but this should be okay. She looks like she's at an angle where she can just focus on making the ball, which to me is always the perfect angle. You just push the cue ball towards the 10 ball with an accurate aim. You know the cue ball is going to come to the end rail. You have no risk of scratching. So you just have to focus on making the ball. Oh, but Carly overcuts it just a bit. Gets a little fortunate, though. Brian's going to have to try to bank the ball here.
Damn. You couldn't place it any more straighter.
I know.
Oh, hey, JD. Yeah, so like I said, man, just find yourself an opponent, come up with the rules and stuff, and then just contact me on a particular date that you might want to try to play. But like I said, I do try to limit these to once a month. So October's clearly done. I already have another match scheduled early in November. So I might be able to squeeze one in later in November. Otherwise, I'll probably have to wait until December. Uh-oh, Brian trying with the one rail bank shot. Ooh, this might be okay though.
Yeah.
This might be okay. The question is Carly going to risk cutting this into the side pocket, which the side pocket shots are not forgiving at all, or is she going to attempt to bank it? She's looking at the side pocket. Oh, maybe she doesn't like it. Now it looks like she's looking at the looks like she might be looking at the one rail bank. Which one is she going to settle for? She goes for the one rail bank, banks it just a little too wide.
Not the safe I wanted.
Ball.
Yeah, Shauna, I kind of expected something like that to happen, and that's why I'm not gonna tolerate it. And it wouldn't matter if the players were of my caliber or even better. No one needs to come in here and attempt to bash or berate any of the players that actually play, because to me it's no different than people that make fun of people that karaoke. Right? The singer is brave enough to get on the microphone and sing in front of a crowd, regardless if they sound good or if they sound bad. While some Joe Blow in the audience is sitting there making fun of them when they're too scared to even get on the microphone. I look at comments like this for this type of match to be the same thing. And so therefore I'm not going to tolerate it. You'll get kicked out of my channel and banned from the channel immediately. Duggar, it's always good to see you, man. Thank you so much for being here.
It was right when he was saying something. I don't know if that was probably not. It was funny.
I can't help but notice. Look, it's the Wizard of Oz. the dog's legs hanging out from under the table.
I don't think this symbol likes us at all.
No.
Oh my goodness, my dogs. All right, Carly, let's put down this 10 ball and tie the match up. Oh, just a bit of an overcut.
It looked good. I thought you were going to.
And it's always how many of y'all have actually played
Might be
to the point to where you see stuff like this all the time and it happens to you, like your opponent misses and you're thankful that they miss, but then the object ball that you're chasing after ends up in a spot that ends up being difficult. But then when you miss, the ball sits right in the pocket for your opponent to just make.
There it is.
And with that 10 ball, Brian takes a 2-0 lead. Okay, this is now rack number 3, alternating break format. Ryan started off first, so this would be his break.
Yeah. Other
All right, rack number 3. Here we go.
Got a lot of movement.
This one looks to be a little dry. Hector, that's a very good question. I do still talk to Tony from time to time. We call and check up on one another. The last time I had him on my channel is because I was helping him set up a clinic exhibition here in Texas. And so I don't know if I can actually maybe entice him to come back and do another one, or maybe I can just entice him to come back and we can actually just do some content together. Do some straight pull, for example. But I do know I also need to make an effort to go down and see him. He's been sending me pictures of his pool room setup, and it is sick. Let me tell you, it is sick. And I would love to be able to go do some content over at his place on his table. Oh, what a shot! Great shot by Carly, playing the 1 into the side pocket, coming around to get position on the 2. Okay, might be playing a 2-9 combination. Didn't cut it enough.
You see the Jason Saw and Pedro Gross both missed a 9-ball on the hill.
Just makes me feel better knowing that they do it.
Well, I just want to see a compilation of like this is from pros.
Well, now you get double the entertainment, right? We're getting some pool, and the dogs are wrestling each other.
I think the craziest thing I've seen when we were at a Mosconi Cup, I think it was David Alcady made a shot into a pocket. There's so much spin on it, it came back out.
Were you actually at that one?
Mm-hmm. Oh my God, the arena was just like.
All right, Carly here with a great opportunity to maybe take the 2, 3, 4, and 5. I would have to say, if she can successfully shoot this 2 ball down here, the cue ball naturally wants to just go up like this. And so you can see how she can be set up for the 3 ball potentially to go here into this corner pocket. Oh, but you see, she caught the side rail. You can't catch the side rail on my table. Good try there. But look, set up for the 3 ball into the corner pocket. 4 ball would go into the side pocket, and then the 5 into the upper right corner pocket. Transition from the 5 to the 6 might have been a little tricky for her. Now here, I wonder if Brian's going to go to the left or the right of the 4-ball. Looks like he's going to be attempting to go to the left, but unsuccessful at making the 2-ball. How many of y'all would be distracted by the dogs if you were here playing in this match? Just a bit of an overcut there. Cue ball's coming around nicely to try to get position on the 3-ball. Had she made it. It's a little safe here. Brian can see part of the 2-ball. He's going to have to come up with some sort of safety, which is going to be difficult considering that the cue ball is going to be going along with the 2-ball. Kind of like this. Oh, but is he got it? Nope. Right through the 3 and the 6, leaving that opening there.
It's not straight in.
Exactly.
Okay, I do wonder if Carly's going to attempt to play a safety here. She's going to go ahead and call it into the side pocket. The problem with this is that the cue ball is going to be moving a whole lot, right? And with the 3-ball being right here, it's going to be difficult to maintain position. Even had she, look at that, that's actually not bad. Even had she had made it, that means the cue ball probably would have been somewhere right around here.
Yeah.
And then the shot that she would have had on the 3-ball would have been just as difficult as the 2-ball. Because of that, I probably would have elected to play some type of safety. And you can see she can still do the same type of bank, but you'd want the 2-ball to be like right around here, while the cue ball hopefully is right around here. Tough shot there in the corner. See how Carly decides to try to get on this 3-ball. It's going to require some bottom right spin. Because if she just attempts to just shoot the ball, the cue ball is just going to do this. It's just going to hit the rail and then just come over here. And that's going to be less than desirable when the 3-ball is sitting over by the rack area. Looks like she's got some bottom spin. Let's see if she has some right spin as well. She does, as the cue ball tries to get back up table to get position on the 3, but unsuccessful at making the 2. Dylan, I do allow jump shots, but they agreed that there will be no jump shots during this match. But jumping on my table is permitted. All right, tough cut shot here coming up on the 2-ball. Cue ball is naturally going to work its way back down towards this end of the table. Oh, what a shot! I don't know if that was a friendly bump off of the 4-ball there, but she can see the 3. Hey, this isn't bad. What a safety there. Okay, Brian with a successful hit on the 3-ball. And gets a little fortunate not to set up right next to that side pocket. David, you've been a subscriber for about 2 months, and after viewing my one-rail kick and bank videos, you love the way I present my content, direct, concise communications, and great visuals. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it, and I do appreciate you being here for the live stream. What is going on, Wayne? When are you going to come visit me and see the new setup? Not a whole lot of movement out of the cue ball there, but maybe intentional considering that the 4-ball is sitting there in the middle of the table. Now, if he cuts this into the side pocket, what he has to be aware of is how the cue ball wants to go this way. So it's a matter of, will he run into the 5-ball or not? And with the, I think that was an undercut, he's able to get past over here to have position on the 5. And I do believe if he would have made it, he probably would have ran into the 5-ball. Hey, absolutely, Wayne. Just let me know when. And Carly really contemplating on taking on this shot. I wonder if she's going to attempt to really move the cue ball. Here we go. What a shot. And the 10-ball falls. So the 10-ball is going to be spotted, but she made her called ball. So she still gets to stay at the table. So this is the unfortunate part with the shot choice that she took on, because the cue ball automatically is going to be coming towards the foot end of the table, and she has to really flare the cue ball around the table just to try to get position back on the 5 that's at the head end of the table. Oh my goodness, what an attempt. Look at the position she's going to have on the 6-ball. Holy cow, that would have been awesome.
Oh, how far is it? Pretty good. And you see that video when the guy did that? Yeah. Where he like this, nobody caught that. Like, I didn't catch it first time, then I rewatched it and I saw, I was like, oh, he did do that. Fourth.
Hey, rail first shot. Good choice to get the cue ball back up here. Nicely done. I think that's worthy of a highlight. Look at this. Good pace and everything else. Good position back onto the 6-ball. Nicely done, Brian. Uh-oh, what happened? We did miss the shot on the 6-ball, though. Okay, Carly with a nice soft roll on the 6 ball there. Position on the 7 looks good. What is she going to do to get on the 8 ball? Tries to move the cue ball a little bit. Sometimes that can actually play a factor in missing. Right? When you focus on how you're going to move the cue ball to the next object ball, you might end up missing the current object ball. Uh-oh.
Of course.
I don't think that worked out the way he wanted.
Safe.
And with that, he tries to play a distance safety. Here, playing on a 9-foot table, a decent safety might be just separating them from one end of the table to the other. Oh, good try. Just a little bit of an overcut. Be curious to know whether or not if that was supposed to be a timing shot. Meaning that, he clips the 8 ball so that way he has a legal hit and then tries to get, as the 8 ball is coming down towards the foot rail, cue ball comes off the side rail, hopefully to be able to knock the 8 ball into the corner pocket. Okay, Carly measuring up to try to bank the 8 ball into the left side pocket. It was a little wide last time. This looks good. This looks good. Oh, just a little short. Oh my goodness.
Good.
Jinxed it.
Oh man.
8 ball actually moves far enough past the side pocket to where I don't think Brian can actually cut it into the side. Any chance that he's going to try to go for the corner pocket is more than likely bound to scratch.
It's a Sean shot. He always does it. Lights come from the backside. Inside. Hopefully, if I can make this, it'd be one of those, they talk about those highlight reels. Yeah.
Oh no, tried the 1 rail kick, but unsuccessful. All right, Carly, let's get on the board here.
One for the low light reels.
Yeah.
You couldn't see that coming.
Couple of ways I see doing this where you don't really have to do anything with your cue ball. That way you can just kind of focus on shooting the ball. Is you place your cue ball right around here. Shoot the 8 ball into the side pocket and get your cue ball to roll to the side rail and then come out a little bit. Anywhere over here, it doesn't matter. I mean, you can get closer if you want, but then you just play this ball in and your cue ball just slightly bounces off the rail, and then you try to play the 10 into the side pocket. Now here, if she's able to see the 9 ball, I can't tell. That means the cue ball is going to have to try to crawl up this way and play position for the 10 here into the corner. I saw her shake her head. It doesn't look like she might not be able to see the ball.
I know we said no.
Or she might not be able to see enough of the ball. She's calling the corner anyway. She's going to have to do a little swerve. Oh boy. She at least makes a good hit.
Nine in the corner.
Oh, that's what we don't want. You don't want a bump on. You don't want to bump a ball unnecessarily because you just don't really know what's going to happen afterwards. I would think that Brian would have wanted his cue ball to go all the way around the 10 ball, and therefore he would be shooting the 10 ball into the same corner pocket to which he shot the 9. But with that bump, now he has to choose the top left corner pocket, avoid the scratch in the side pocket. Nicely done. All right, so how's everybody doing out there? Let me know, where is everybody watching from? I know most of the viewers that are in here and where you're located, but some of the other ones I'm not familiar with. Okay, good solid break there. We got the 1 ball into the side pocket. Oh my goodness, it looks like we might see a push here.
Yeah, the 1 went down.
8 ball is blocking the path to the 2 ball.
We agreed on pushes.
The only thing is no jump.
Really.
We got Dylan watching from New Braunfels. 4 regular guys watching from a parking lot. This is actually my best friend, y'all. He's actually got a YouTube channel with 3 of his other buddies, and they're actually trying to do live reactions to football games. Some of the content has actually been pretty funny there. If you're into football, I would highly suggest checking out the 4 regular guys YouTube channel. Fellow content creator Lonnie watching from San Antonio, Texas. Sean is watching from Belton. I'm seeing something a little interesting on